Exercise A, page 92.
Clarify.
Courageous.
Exceptional.
Instinct.
Motivate.
Obstacle.
Portray.
Predator.
Struggle.
Uncertainty.
Exercise B, meaning from context, page 92.
The Bear Whisperer. I'm speaking with Eric Roth, the Bear Whisperer. What motivates you to work with bears?
I'm unhappy with how the media portrays them as dangerous predators to be avoided. It's my mission to clarify all the confusion around bears and educate people. I know bears are very gentle animals that are guided by their ancient, predictable instincts.
But bears do attack humans sometimes, don't they?
Yes, but only in exceptional cases. There are millions of bears in the world, and only 40 attacks are reported annually. If you don't show any fear or uncertainty around bears, I guarantee you they won't attack. I hope to open my own bear education center here in Alaska to teach people that and much more. Unfortunately, I've been struggling and haven't made much progress with the project.
What obstacles are you running into?
The government wants me to keep my bears in cages, but I want visitors to walk with the bears as I do and learn what they're really like. I have an idea. Let's go meet my bears together right now.
No thanks, Mr. Roth. I'm afraid I'm not as courageous as you. But thanks for the interview.
Listening. Victory over fear. Exercise B, main ideas. And Exercise C, details. Page 94.
Hello, you're listening to Opening Doors, a podcast about helping you remove the obstacles that stand between you and success. Today, we're looking at fear and how some people have found ways to beat it. We've asked 3 of our regular listeners to tell us about their heroes, people who have overcome their fears on their way to success. Labib, why don't you start?
Okay. My hero is definitely Olivia Husari, the creator of several educational websites. I think she's an exceptional example of someone who once struggled with fear but has since overcome it. She appears on all kinds of TV shows and podcasts now, but she used to be almost paralyzed by fear. The fear of looking bad, the unknown, and making mistakes. Such fears prevented her from trying anything challenging. Now, she teaches others to overcome their fear the same way she did, by studying it and understanding it. She says that, first of all, it's important to understand that fear is wired into the brain. We can't just get rid of it, so we have to learn to live with it. Powerful fear is generated by the amygdala.
The amygdala?
Right. The amygdala is the part of the brain where strong fear is generated. It's the home of the fight or flight instinct. The amygdala tells us to run when danger is near, to run without thinking. The amygdala is also known as the lizard brain. A lizard's brain is much simpler than ours. It's basically just an amygdala. The problem is that uncertainty, challenges, changes, and struggles can all trigger the amygdala, and these are the same conditions under which effective learning happens.
So the fear response in the amygdala can stop us from learning?
Exactly. The amygdala can actually rob us of opportunities to grow by learning. But it doesn't have to if we think of fear the right way. Olivia tells us to recognize when fear is preventing us from doing something beneficial. Once we realize this, we can take control. The key is not to let the lizard drive. Put the lizard in the back seat and take control of the wheel yourself. We can't eliminate fear, but we can stop letting it take charge of our lives.
Thank you for that wonderful message, Labib. Next, Priyanka will tell us about her hero.
Thank you. A hero of mine who overcame fear on the way to success is Gibbs Kuguru from Kenya. He is a scientist who studies sharks and their genetics. One species he studies is the great white shark, one of the largest and most dangerous. When Gibbs was growing up, he was afraid of sharks, as so many people naturally are. But much of this fear that people have is irrational and comes from stories or movies that make sharks seem more dangerous than they really are. Gibbs says that he was able to overcome his fear by learning about sharks and working with them. That's when he realized that they're very different than how newspapers or fiction portray them.
Can you clarify that for me? I thought that sharks are dangerous to humans.
Like any wild predator, they can be dangerous. But in the news and fiction, they're usually monsters or killing machines. Gibbs has learned that while they can be dangerous, if you respect them as you observe them, it's possible to live and work around them in relative safety. Shark attacks happen when humans don't understand the environment or the sharks they're dealing with. So understanding and knowledge are the keys to eliminating fear and danger.
Thank you, Priyanka. Now Duke will describe his hero.
I'd like to talk about the TV star Bear Grylls. He's made a career out of being an adventurer, and he has to deal with fear all the time in his shows. Bear's famous for climbing Chomolungma and parachuting into jungles or deserts, where he encounters dangerous predators and eats insects and whatever else he can find to survive. One time, his parachute didn't work properly, and he broke his back in 3 places. He's an extremely courageous man, but he also has a system that allows him to deal with his fear.
What system do you mean?
He calls it the STOP system. S-T-O-P. S stands for stop and step back. As Labib mentioned, nothing can motivate us to act as strongly as the deep fear from the amygdala. But instead of immediately doing something when we feel it, Bear tells us to stop and do nothing. Don't allow it to take hold of you. Don't let it control your actions. If you do, you'll act in an irrational way. Then comes the T, which stands for take a break. It takes a moment for your brain to start thinking logically again, so give yourself that needed time. Now you're ready for the O, which stands for observe. Bear says that when you're in a high-stress situation, it's normal to focus on one thing or on a small area, which can be dangerous. Instead, it's crucial to look at your environment and see what might be useful to you in a dangerous situation. Finally, now that you've calmed down, broken the grip of fear, and are aware of your surroundings, you're ready for the P, which stands for plan. Hopefully, you'll be able to use your resources to think of a strategy to get yourself out of trouble.
Thanks, Duke. I'd like to thank all 3 of our guests today for their interesting input on how their heroes deal with fear. I think they've taught us some lessons that we can use in our own lives. I hope you'll join us next week for another Opening Doors podcast.
Pronunciation. Recognize reduced vowels in unstressed syllables. Page 94. 2 reduced vowel sounds in English are and I. The most common reduced vowel sound is called the schwa sound. When you pronounce it, keep your mouth relaxed and half open and your tongue in the middle position and flat. Unstressed A, E, O, and U are often reduced to the schwa sound. American. Occur. Suggest. Tunnel. Unstressed I and Y are mostly reduced to I in unstressed syllables. Without. Synonym. I also appears in reduced syllables with various spellings. become, erase, average, minute. These rules are guidelines, but there are exceptions. The important thing to remember is that and I occur in unstressed syllables. And always remember to use your ears. Exercise D, page 95.
1. Mother.
2. Begin.
3. Control.
4. Biscuit.
5. Package.
6. Music.
7. Pleasure.
8. Machine.
Exercise E, recognize, page 95. 1.
Was Huda able to help you with your project?
Yes, she was, even though she was very busy with her own work.
I knew she would. Everyone says she has a heart of gold.
2.
So, do you have any interesting plans for this weekend?
No, I'm staying home. I need to recharge my batteries.
How boring. Maybe next weekend we can go rock climbing.
We'll see.
3.
Are you ready for the big exam today?
Not really. I have butterflies in my stomach.
Well, you wouldn't be so nervous if you'd studied harder.
4.
Have you solved that computer problem yet?
No, I haven't. It's a real can of worms.
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
5.
How did your first game of golf go?
It was a walk in the park. They said I have natural talent.
Really? Well, we should play soon.
I'd like that.
6.
Do you know what I'd like for dinner?
Well, it's Friday, so pizza, right?
I'm an open book to you.
What do you expect after 20 years of marriage?
7.
You've been writing that book for almost a year. Will you finish soon?
I can see light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm glad to hear it. We're all looking forward to reading it.
8.
Where's Hannah?
She's already at the library, studying.
At 7 a.m.? She is such an early bird.
Exercise B, model, and Exercise C, analyze the model, pages 99 to 100.
Hello, everyone. Our presentation is about Amanda Gorman, a courageous American poet and activist who has overcome many challenges. I'm going to talk about her background. She was born in Los Angeles, California in 1998. She is the daughter of a sixth-grade English teacher who was a single mother. She enjoyed reading and writing, but in 2004, when she was in kindergarten, it was discovered that Amanda had some difficulties with listening and speaking. Her ears were overly sensitive, and she struggled saying the letter R. However, she didn't see these as obstacles. She thought they helped her to work harder on language. She learned songs to help her to pronounce the letter R, including the song Erin Ber Sur from the musical Hamilton. She attended a private high school in Santa Monica, California, and graduated in 2016. She did so well in her studies that she was accepted the same year to Harvard University and graduated with honors. Now Juan is going to tell you about her career.
Thanks, Aisha. After she graduated and left her student life at Harvard University behind, Amanda Gorman started her adult career as a poet and an activist. Much of her work is based on her challenging experiences of being a black woman in the United States. Her poetry and books have been very popular, and she has made many television appearances. In 2021, during a time of great political division in the United States, Amanda Gorman read a poem in Washington, D.C., at the ceremony where Joseph Biden became the 46th President of the United States. She was the youngest poet ever to read a poem at that ceremony. She says that when she feels scared, she calms herself down by remembering that she is a daughter of black writers. She says, "We're descended from freedom fighters who broke their chains and changed the world." Some of Amanda's heroes include American poet Toni Morrison, the Duchess of Sussex, and Michelle Obama. Well, that's it for our presentation. Thanks for listening.